I have begun to suspect my wife of 7 years of cheating on me with a former coworker. Am I imagining things, or do I have cause to worry? What are my options? Note, my wife is a Redditor, so I am keeping the details vague as I can. I have been with my now wife for over a decade, married for 7, and we have a 3-year-old child. We relocated for her job shortly after the birth of our child and have not really had much of a support system for ourselves while raising our child. My job has been virtual, so I have been able to work from home. Our work schedules are off-shifted, so we can hand off childcare between the two of us while the other is at work. She has been expressing her dissatisfaction as our home life has been far from what we had envisioned with having our child. Our child is very demanding and high energy, and we have not been able to hire any caregivers or have any friends or family to watch our child and have had pretty much no child-free time. She has also had some regrets from her job, which is not what she thought it would be, and the opportunities to increase her pay has not manifested as she had envisioned. She has expressed her concerns at being financially dependent on me now that we have moved to a higher cost of living area. The other day, for the first time since we have been in a relationship, she asked if she could go see a movie by herself while I watched our child. I had no issue with that, as I was already going to be doing things with our child. She comes home 7 hours later in a much happier mood than I have seen her in a while, and she tells me she enjoyed the movie. I asked if she saw a couple movies because she was gone for so long, and she said no, she met up with John, a former coworker that left her work 2 months ago. At this point I felt my stomach drop out. I found that very odd, and the 7-hour was a bit of a long time to see a movie. And while in the past she had gone to the movies with friends, she never said she was going alone. I asked if meeting with John was part of her plan, and she said yes. I asked why she said she was going alone and why she was gone for 7 hours. She said she did not think it mattered and they had a lot to catch up on. My brain asks, what does a co-worker and you have to catch up on for 7 hours, especially if you last saw them at work 2 months ago, and I feel very uncomfortable. I tell her that I feel a little uncomfortable with this because she did not tell me she intended to meet John. The first feel that she was hiding the intent. She said I was being unreasonable and should not be jealous of her friend. Nothing happened, and she reminded me that the relationship she was in prior to being with she had been cheated on, and said that she would never cheat herself. She would end the relationship before doing anything like that to someone else. I would like to think that had she said she was going to meet up with this former co-worker, I might have been okay knowing the facts up front, but I have lost the opportunity to know how I would react in truth. At this point I have let it go and tried to be normal for the last couple of days, but I cannot let it go. I only have suspicions, and I am not sure if I am letting fears cloud my judgment. I am afraid to ask to see her text messages with John. Part of me thinks that if I can see how they coordinated the meeting and the tone of the texts may help me put this past me, but I am not sure. I could use some support. Tell me I am seeing things, or tell me my fears may be founded, and how to go about figuring out the truth without blowing things up. Comment. If you read these infidelity subs long enough, you learn 2 things. 1. Trust your instincts. Always. 2. The most important one, is never reveal your suspicions and are looking for clues. You automatically make your investigation twice as hard. They burrow further underground, and unbelievably they become aggressive towards you. Fight your impulse to talk about it. Start investigating silently. You'll probably find what you're sensing to be true. So true. I didn't really have any proof at all other than a feeling in my gut, which I had never felt before. Never once felt the need to look through my ex's phone, until I did. And I investigated for a full week, gathering evidence, contacted OBS and a divorce attorney before I even confronted him. Same here. Gut was screaming she's cheating, but my brain said, she wouldn't do that because that's what her dad did to break up the family. I spoke with her sister and sister-in-law after they did a quick weekend vacation. Both said she was glued texting someone the whole time. I pressured her and she broke. Obviously it's all my fault. Best part is her second affair was with our daycare worker. I found out about both late last Feb, file 1st of March. Your fears are well founded. She did not want you to know in advance she was meeting up with him. This was movie date with a guy. Can you get access to her phone at night? Has she started to sleep with her phone or hide it from you? Can you access emails through a shared computer? Check with your cell carrier and get a copy of all calls and texts. See how much she has been in contact with him. Check your credit card statement. At this point you need to be observant and maybe start detective mode. Watch out for a girl's night out, or another reason to leave you home with your kid. If you tell her that you go to the cinema alone and then come back after 7 hours and tell her that you met with a female former co-worker and that it was a planned meeting, how would your wife react? Of course you come back home in an excellent mood. If you think that she wouldn't like that, then tell her that you feel uncomfortable since she went on her date with that guy. Yes, call it a date that she hid from you. Because of that, you can't stop thinking about it and ask her if you can see her phone to look at their texts, especially those that they exchanged right before and after the date. If she declines you that or those texts are deleted, then you have your answer. If it comes out to be harmless, then thank her for letting you look. My advice is to start wearing protection if you chose to sleep with her going forward. Don't bother to ask her if she is cheating, don't ask to see her phone. You already have her answer for the first, and messages are easy to delete. And just because she was cheated on in her last relationship does not elevate her to sainthood. It could just as easily convince her that everyone does it, so why not me? I think that making a big deal of this will only damage your marriage if indeed it was just a friendly meeting. Neither should you just ignore it. Let her know that you are uncomfortable with her having a date with another man, and that was a date. If she acknowledges this, work on improving your relationship. If she gaslights and belittles you, start splitting your finances and get your important possessions out of the house to a safe place. Next story 2. I suspect that my wife, 35M, may be starting an affair with her co-worker. My wife and I have known each other since grade school, dated in college and got married in 2016. We also have 2 kids, 2 YRS and 4 YRS. We've had ups and downs but always land back in each other's arms. Recently my work has been controlling my life and I was oblivious to the fact that my wife has been in constant contact with her co-worker Joe since March 2023. I really only started to notice things were off recently, but looking back now I see some potential red flags. They left for a hike and didn't come back for 15 hours. Turns out the hike included dinner at a modest restaurant. She invited several co-workers to a lake outing with our family and Joe was the only one who showed. She proceeded to swim with him for 2 hours, something she has never done with me. She texts him morning, noon and night about casual topics. She only sends me short texts while at work. She has picked up on his hobbies and watched TV shows and movies that he specifically suggested. She wants to go on another long hike with him this Monday. This was very short notice, only brought up today. I confronted her about it this week, telling her that I know I have been neglecting our relationship and that she may be having an emotional affair with him because of it. She stated that they are only friends and texts him frequently because she has very few close friends. She has since stopped texting him when I'm in the room. However, I did check her phone tonight and saw at least 20 messages to him while she was reading alone in the bedroom. I am motivated to fix our relationship and get things back on track, but Joe is the big obstacle holding me back mentally. She really doesn't have many friends and I don't want to ruin a friendship if it is strictly platonic. I don't know what Joe thinks of the situation, but in my head it feels like he's trying to win her over. I am thinking about asking her to stop texting him altogether and to only talk during work, but is it too extreme? Am I just reacting emotionally? Comment. 15-hour hike? Really? The lake outing, were you there? Are you sure all they did was swim? She probably contacts him romantically, another more discreet way than text. Plus if they work together, then face-to-face is the easiest ways to plan things. I'd bet Monday is not a hike. Do you share phone locations? I would arrange a babysitter without her knowledge and find out what they are doing and where. At least get a recorder in her car. If she's picking up his hobbies and all that, it sounds like an EA/BA that she is hiding really well, probably because of the kids. She doesn't want to lose the life she has until she knows Joe will commit to her. If he does, your marriage is done. Sounds like she won't give him up easily, she'll have to get a new job too. If they work together, there is no way she'll completely stop seeing him. Get ready for this to get really ugly. It's a lot harder to be walked on when you are standing up. Is she really hiding it well? 15-hour hike, or is Op just not putting forth the effort to discover the truth behind their relationship? This has all the earmarks of more than friendship, even though it appears to be on full display by his wife. Either way, Op need to get to the bottom of his wife's actions and please update us. Best of luck. First off, don't be beating yourself up about the time you are working. You are supporting your family and giving them the best life you can. Ask her if she likes her home, her car, your lifestyle. Explain to her that she has all these things because of the work you put in. Ask her what she is willing to give up for you not to work as much. Secondly, you must tell her that this BS with this other guy has got to stop. And it has to stop right now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. No more hikes. No more bedroom texts. Speaking of which, I'm guessing she has shown them to you. You said they have been benign. But how do you know you've seen them all? Go to your carrier's website and look up your bill. She can delete all she wants, but you will see the time and dates of all texts and calls. Match that up to what's on her phone. If they aren't all there, then you ask her why the selective deleting. And about this he's just a friend BS. Bring up this side for her to see. Not your post. Just this and some other cheating subs. Point out to her how many cheating wives did it with just a friend. I mean, who goes on a hike, if they did, and who knows how long really. And 1.5 hours at a restaurant. That means they were hiking for 12 hours. That's adding drive time. I call BS. Sorry. There's more going on. And who was watching the kids all day? You. So she complains that you're not around enough, but the first chance she gets she spends the day with this all day. Is that the actions of someone who is missing her husband? Again BS.